All right, with the first whistle, we are off. Let's get into it.
Looking forward to a good battle this morning.
Cavanator pushing on the last line of Toronto's defense, out of the pack now, coming around on a scoring pass. Looks like Toronto's jammer is still having a little bit of trouble getting through that pack. Outstanding defense up at the top of the pack there from the Disorder. Let's see what happens. Cavanator comes through, picks up 4 points. The jammer lap point is no longer. Yeah. I don't like that they got rid of it.
I always thought it should be a set point for a full pack and then an extra one for the game.
Yeah, you should score a point for passing the jammer. That's an opposing player. I don't like that they got rid of it. Cavanator picks up 7 points for Disorder. Score currently sitting at 7-0. Senior Wiener just taking off for Toronto.
Look at this battle at the front. Open lane on the inside of turn one. Both jammers out. However, it is Disorder in control. Quickly calls off the jam.
Before Senior Wiener can pick up any points for Toronto, bringing the score to... I believe that was a 0-0. Oh, no. That was 2 points for Disorder. Score currently sitting at 9-0.
Toronto yet to pick up any points early in this game, but this is only jam 3.
That is Luke Ness Monster jamming for Toronto.
Pushed hard to the outside. Alex Storm has to recycle. Alex Storm finds the path on the inside of the front straightaway and is the lead jammer. Luke Ness Monster in pursuit.
Alex Storm runs through, calls off the jam before Luke Ness Monster can pick up any points for Toronto.
Disorder putting together a solid game plan early.
They did not come to mess around.
13-0. Disorder leads. Disorder in the white, Toronto in the blue. If you're watching at home, good morning. Cavanator out. As Disorder once again gets their jammer out while containing the opposing jammer.
Cavanator hits that pack while Toronto's jammer is still contained. Cavanator runs through, picks up 4 points for Disorder. Toronto is still looking for a way out of that pack. As Cavanator comes back in.
Ooh.
Tries to make quick work out of Toronto's defense, hits the floor, is pulled back. Let's see what he can do this time.
Williams put a hard hit on Cavanator there, just on the outside of turn 2. Makes another run, finds an open lane, and only has...
Cavanator is back out of the pack.
One more to get past. Another 4 points to the side of Disorder, going to bring this 21-0 or 17-0.
It was an 8-point jam for Cavanator. So far, the biggest jam of the game. Granted, we are 5 minutes in.
I was correct the first time, 21-0. Oh.
Now, Disorder's Jammer is headed to the penalty box as he sits down to think about what he did. This does leave Toronto some time to score unopposed. D-Ray out on that track trying to make the most of this power jam opportunity. Let's see how this goes for him. He is pushing up at the top of the pack on an outstanding triangle defense from Disorder.
Power jam.
He is undeterred. He makes out of the pack. That is D-Ray picking up the first points of the game and the first lead jam for Toronto.
Yeah, big opportunity here for Toronto with that, I believe it was a failure to yield penalty, sending Disorder's Jammer to the penalty box. Picking up 4. Let's see what D-Ray can do. Cutting into the lead that Disorder has built so far. Looks like another 4, so 8 points so far for Toronto. A very effective jam. Disorder's Jammer back in the thick of things. D-Ray finding a path, gets pushed into the inside of the back straight. Whistles blown, and a blocker for Toronto goes to the box.
D-Ray calls off the jam. And D-Ray puts some points on the board for Toronto. The score is now sitting at 11-21.
So half of that lead cut in one jam due to that penalty. Definitely not an opportunity squandered by Toronto. Took full advantage of it. Let's see how Disorder answers. Putting out a powerhouse. Alekstrom is the lead jammer.
Alex Storm just looks at Toronto's defense and says, jumps right through it, and back around again after picking up 4 points for Disorder.
That was a nice quick head fake to the inside. Picking up 4, looks to make it 4 more as he squeezes through into turn 1 to pick up an additional full set.
Penalty box is looking a little full right now, and it does appear that Disorder is taking advantage of that. Disorder's blocker is able to push Toronto's blockers to the inside of the track, leaving room for Alex Storm to just run wild right now.
Toronto picked up 11 in the previous jam. And, nice spin move for Alekstrom, now at 16 points. So they're going to answer big when Toronto gives up the power jam themselves.
Toronto had one big jam. Disorder said, no, we're not doing that today.
We'll see that big jam with a bigger one. You thought that was big. Disorder currently with 20 added points, and we're going to make it 24. Huge jam.
Alex Storm just absolutely running wild, taking a look to their bench, going, should I call it off yet? Should I keep going? All right, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to call it off now.
Not before picking up another 3, though, for 27 total points, more than their entire score previously, and more than double of what Toronto did in the previous power jam.
Score is now sitting at 48 for Disorder, 13 for Toronto.
We're going to get a team timeout called by Toronto.
Definitely a strategic move on their part, seeing if they can shut down Disorder's momentum for a bit.
Here we go. Currently, the score stands Toronto in the blue with 13, Disorder in the white with 48, but 27 of those was in the last jam. Welcome if you're watching at home here from the International House of Derby. We're live in St. Louis.
And I see Senior Wiener and Kevinator lining up at that jam line. Senior Wiener gets bumped to the in. He is now trying to look for a way up the out. Kevinator tries to spin up the inside of that pack, gets caught up by Toronto's defense. Senior Wiener pushing on Mexico's defense, and he is out.
Just battled his way to that
Senior
position.
Wiener picks up lead for Toronto. Kevinator.
Oh, a track cut.
Has been called for a track cut and is taking a seat in that penalty box.
Jam's going to end. I'm not sure that Toronto realized that they had a power jam going. But they picked up 3, and they're going to continue in this next jam. Lining up on the jammer line for Toronto. Going to be Luke Ness Monster, I believe. It is indeed. Down to the ground, outside of the front straight. Recycle back, Luke Ness Monster.
Luke Ness Monster trying to hop and skip their way through Disorder's defense. I hear a no pack call from the refs. The pack is quickly reformed, giving him no room to get out. That is Williams trying to give Luke Ness Monster a little bit of help to get through. As Kevinator is released from the penalty box. Let's see what happens. Kevinator makes it through, picks up lead jam for Toronto. This is where I'd like to point out this jam lasted 45 seconds with no lead.
Luke Ness Monster makes a break for it with a classic hiding the jammer star. Jam's going to end with a couple of points added for it to Disorder as Kevinator slices off a pair.
I do see several of the Pittsburgh Undead in the house. I had asked them, hey, do you want to get up crazy early and come listen to me announce? And here they are. Thanks, guys.
The crowd goes wild. Just an absolute scrappy fight in Toronto, but it's gonna be Disorder.
That is Bisho picking up lead jam for Disorder. Calls it off before Toronto's Biff Malibu can make it through to pick up any points. Just waiting for confirmation from the scorekeepers. Little 3 points picked up for the Disorder. We are currently sitting at 16-53.
Whistle's blown. Wow. Alex Strum very good at finding those holes.
D-Ray
and
breaking out of
through.
the pack for Toronto up against that tough defense from Disorder. Little hop, skip, and junk. Alex Storm jumps the apex, picks up 4 points for Disorder, and calls off the jam.
Yes, but he may have picked up a penalty there right there. I'm not sure. We'll see if he ends up in the penalty box. And nope, did not.
And a cheer goes up from Disorder's bench as Perversa makes her way out of the pack. First time I've seen her take the jam line, going back in, seeing what she can pick up for her team.
Mexico City going deep in their roster for jammers. Going to call it there. 3 more points for Disorder.
And just so much love on their bench right now.
Score is going to be 60-16. Disorder leading. Disorder in the white, Toronto in the blue.
All right, that is Kevinator once again picking up lead jam for Disorder. Senior Wiener from Toronto looking for a way out of that pack, just pushing his way through Disorder's defense. He makes it out as well as Kevinator hits the back of the pack on his first scoring run. Let's get into it. A little spin on the infield. He calls off the jam after picking up 2 points for Disorder. Score is currently sitting at 62-16. All right, as the pack rolls back on the whistle, that is Luke Ness Monster jamming for Toronto. They are looking for a way up the inside before being pulled back by Disorder's defense. A little one-on-one. Bisho taking a few love taps from sleep. Luke Ness Monster goes for that apex jump, does not stick the landing. As Bisho is looking for a way through to pick up some points, pushing on Toronto's defense. And folks, he is out after picking up 4 points for Disorder.
The Disorder has a lot of weapons in their arsenal. One of those weapons currently as a blocker is going to the penalty box. Nobody.
Luke Ness Monster getting absolutely no love on that apex as Pip from Toronto. If nothing else, you certainly get style points for that, sir. As Bisho is knocked to the outside, does a little barrel roll, and makes his way back in.
To those watching at home, thank you for joining us, and thank you for the comments of appreciation. We absolutely love all of you that are fans of Derby and who support these teams. 3 more points for Disorder, as they have put on a steady stream of points this game. Under 13 minutes remain in the first half.
And Alex Tron makes quick work of Toronto's defense, coming back around now to see if he can pick up some points. He's got Biff Malibu hot on his heels. Let's get into it. Makes his way up the outside of that pack, hits the floor, and calls off the jam.
Lots of smiles on the faces of these competitors, with looks like a couple of more to the score of Disorder. Ooh.
Cleanup on aisle 5. Senior Wiener hits the floor with one of Disorder's blockers. Meanwhile, Kevinator takes advantage of that chaos and sneaks through. Senior Wiener, not to be deterred, is just about a quarter track behind him. Let's see what happens. Kevinator jumps in, calls off the jam before clearing the pack, making sure Senior Wiener can't score any points for Toronto. Looks like a 2-0 jam, according to the referees.
Kevinator's getting a lot of time with that star on his head. We're going to get a team timeout once again by Toronto. An official review by Toronto. We'll find out what this is about in just a moment. We're still under review. For those in the Twitch stream, Disorder is playing very clean. Both teams looking very good. We have a lot of derby action today. After this, it'll be Concussion versus Undead, followed by Toronto versus the Gatekeepers, Magic City versus the Undead, Disorder versus the Gatekeepers, and then Concussion versus Magic City to wrap up day one.
Toronto is looking to have a back block called on Disorder's jammer. We will see what they conclude.
Looks like a great amount of Disorder fans watching live on the stream this morning.
The referees have concluded there is no way for them to determine that back block, so our penalty box is going to stay empty. And they will not retain that review. Fun thing about roller derby, it's a little bit of a gamble. If you call your first official review and it's correct, you retain that review.
Announcing here with Kitty Black on Late Night Lyle, getting back to the action as Disorder leads 81-16.
And that is D-Ray from Toronto just breaking through Disorder's defense, picking up lead jam. Maybe he wants to try and turn things around. And Perversa of the Disorder breaks the pack.
Lots of calls online on the stream expressing support for Perversa.
Looks like no score reported. Okay, nothing jam.
Double goose eggs on that jam. Rare that Disorder hasn't come away with points. Let's see what Toronto can do to get back into this game. Under 10 minutes left in the first half. Finding his way through, gets blast to the outside. Bicho finally grabs the point, the finger point, not the point on the scoreboard. Lead jammer is Bicho. Makes a complete pass, adds 4 to the side of Disorder.
Toronto's jammer, Stevie, still looking for a way out of that pack.
Toronto really struggling with this defense that Mexico City is putting on as Bicho makes it 8 points so far, looking for 12. Pack spreads out. Can they contain Bicho? No. 12 points now. Going to go ahead and call it there, adding another single digit for 13 total, 94-18, disorder.
Luke Ness Monster just makes quick work of that pack. Runs out front for Toronto. Let's see what he can do. They are on a mission. Yeah? There's a Monster Zero that's mango flavored that I really like. Yes. My old coach loved those, and when he fixed my skates for me, he wouldn't let me give him any money for it. So I got him a case of Monster Rehab teas and some Almond Joy bars. I was like, I'm gonna give you something.
Quickly out the front of the pack, it is Kevinator, one of the two big heavy weapons that Disorder is wielded today with great effect. Nice apex jump there in turn one to pick up 4. Pack spreads out.
Biff Malibu thought he was going to get pulled back to the pack, but Hirabamala has to go take a seat in the penalty box, and the jam is called off by Kevinator. I do believe that is a 0-0 jam.
There's 4 points already picked up by Disorder there in the first pass. So 4-0 for that jam, but no more for that last pass.
Our score is sitting at 20 points for Toronto, 98 for Disorder.
Toronto finding a path to take, but does not take control. Improper pass prevents getting the lead jammer status.
Due to a case of no pass, no penalty, Disorder has actually picked up lead jam in spite of being the second one to make it through the pack. Let's see what happens.
And gonna end up going to the penalty box. That's what's gonna happen.
Time for Senior Wiener to sit down and think about what he did. And this is creating an opportunity for Bicho to score unopposed right now. Let's get into it. Let's see what happens.
4 more to the score for Disorder. Great heart by Toronto, but unfortunately, that small little error ended up assisting Disorder.
And then at 4, I'm going to play Magic City and die.
Down to the ground. goes Toronto's jammer. Senor Wiener swims his way through to 4. But Toronto, or Disorder, adding 4 to their side as well.
That was a 20-point jam for Disorder to Toronto's 7. Score currently sitting at 118 for Disorder, 27 for Toronto. We have got 3.5 minutes till halftime.
Oh, man.
That was a lot.
That was a nice hit. Spencer Sleep putting a hurt on Disorder's jammer.
I've been hit by Spencer Sleep. I assure you it is not pleasant. And Alex Storm finally breaks the pack, picks up lead jammer for Disorder. Oh! The very fanciest of footwork from Alex Storm as he side surfs his way through the pack, making it look easy. Can we give him a few, some style points for that? Like, maybe just 2 points, for style.
Absolutely lit the crowd up, both here live and online. Another 4 for Alex Storm. No open door there. Looks to fight through the middle. Just bullies his way to another 4 in a good way. And another spin move on the inside, a turn 4 to pick up an additional number of the same. $16 points so far for Alex Storm. Alex Storm with a lot of slow, quick. Jam's going to end there, but no more on that last pass. So we're going to stop with 16-0, and we're going to have a timeout called, an official timeout. Our
Looks
score
like they're
right
just
now,
clearing
Disorder,
the track of some debris.
138, Toronto 27. Fastest official timeout in history, especially at the opening of a tournament.
Kevenator makes it through the pack. D-Ray is close behind. This is going to be a foot race.
Kevenator.
D-Ray runs up on Kevenator. Kevenator calls the jam.
Halftime quickly approaching. And it's here. That's how quick it was. It was 27. Toronto in the blue, Disorder from Mexico City in the white. We'll see what Toronto can do to swap things around and take a giant bite out of the giant pillow of points Disorder has posted. I'm Late Night Lyle. Beside me, Kitty Black.
That is Luke Ness Monster looking for a way up the inside of that pack for Toronto. Fighting against what has been a remarkable defense from Disorder. And we've got Bisho looking for a way out. And Luke Ness Monster has picked up an early lead for Toronto.
Luke Ness Monster sandwiching through, but no path there. Disorder able to completely stop Luke Ness Monster, but oh! Monster gets clipped there by Ichel. Has to recycle back, and oh, man. That's tough. Party Boy puts the Luke Ness Monster deep in the sea of the inside. That's going to put a stop to that jam.
Luke Ness Monster picked up 3 points for Toronto, and fresh out of halftime, our score is now sitting at 139 for Disorder and 30 for Toronto.
Some love shown for Toronto in the chat. Welcome and good morning to those of you watching at home. Finding a path is Alex Strom.
Alex Storm and D-Ray, that does seem to be a familiar matchup so far today. Alex Storm looking for a way through the pack. D-Ray hot on his heels, seeing if he can pick up some points. He does not. Alex Storm hops through that pack and calls off the jam.
Second time I butchered his name. I know what it is. I've just got early brain and stuck on reversing those letters. Caffeine will kick in. It'll be all right. 5 seconds. Tweet. Nice hit there by nobody. That's going to give time for Kevinator to make through.
Biff Malibu pulled to the back of the pack by Hirabamala. Gonna take a second pass at it now. Let's see how that goes for him. He is pulled back again. In the meantime, Kevinator has made it through, picking up more points for Disorder.
Disorder has been anything but in this game. Putting down the law of the land for this game. Kevinator through again for what is likely another 4. It is indeed. Oh, Pip with a hit on Kevinator. Going to prevent the next set of 4. At least temporarily.
Knocked to the floor again by Spencer Sleep, looking for a way through the back of that pack.
Toronto still unable to solve the puzzle of the defense of Disorder. Jam's going to end. And we're going to have an official timeout. 11 points picked up there by Disorder, if that score stands after this official timeout. 154-30, with Toronto trailing.
official timeout? What's going on? Okay, I didn't hear it called. I was like, hold on, everyone's in the middle. Okay, all right. I saw that mechanics for Covenanters I hold.
For a low block, but there was blood. We had to do blood protocol for a moment.
Okay,
We're going to continue playing.
There
all
was
right, Disorder's Jammer is
just
headed to the
cleaning up the
penalty
track.
box, and we are going to continue play. For a low block, incidentally. This is giving Senior Wiener a chance to run unopposed. So I can say this morning, we now have a wiener on the loose.
We do indeed. Senor Wiener.
Senior Wiener looking to penetrate that pack.
In case anyone's confused, that's Senor Wiener for Toronto, not for Mexico City. Toronto, of course, in the blue. And picks up 4 points as Senor Wiener battles his way. As he keeps his skates in the ballpark.
And it appears that Disorder's Jammer is going back to the penalty box.
Track cut. Jam's going to end there with 1 more point, so 5 in total for Senor Wiener.
Score is now sitting at 154 for Disorder, 35 for Toronto, and they do have just a little bit more time in that power jam opportunity to see if they can pick up some more points.
If they can just do that about 20 more times, they'll be right back into this.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
Once again, control goes to Toronto.
Stevie just runs through that pack. Toronto looking to pull back one of Disorder's blockers to keep control of the pack position.
Stevie manages to keep upright and inbounds. Stevie threads the needle on that inside line of turn 2. Excellent track awareness by Stevie, but just using a ton of energy to try to get through the defense of Disorder. Chats.
Looks like D-Ray taking a seat in the penalty box.
Cheering Stevie on, but Jam is going to end there. 4 points unanswered for Toronto.
I see Luke Ness Monster going side to side, pushing on Disorder's Jammers, looking for a way out as Bisho picks up lead jam for Disorder. Luke Ness Monster still looking for a way out of that pack. Bisho just pushes his way through Toronto's defense, picks up 4 points for Disorder. Luke Ness Monster trying some footwork on the outside of that pack. They are knocked to the floor as Disorder pulls them back. Bicho coming around on a scoring run now, going to pick up some more points for Disorder. Let's see what he can do. And he just slides through that pack. And Toronto completes a star pass to number 137 D-Ray. And the jam is now called off. That was a 0-8 jam. We are currently sitting at 162 for Disorder and 39 for Toronto.
Quickly on the outside, it's Alex Storm. Hey, look, I said it right that time.
Alex Storm is closely followed by Toronto's Biff Malibu. It's a foot race. Let's see what happens. Biff Malibu manages to get just a little bit of speed and pass up Alex Storm. Let's see where that score goes.
Alex Storm, a little slow to get up, may have caught one in the nose, but some big smiles there as Toronto helps Alex Storm up. Great sportsmanship here. Maybe a wide spread in the score, but it is even with the passion and the camaraderie of these two teams.
And that is Stevie from Toronto, just making quick work of Disorder's defense as she runs through the pack. Going to see
Kevinator
if she
in
can make her
pursuit.
way through and pick up some points before Kevinator can score. She calls off the jam, picks up just 1 point for Toronto, nothing for Disorder. That is a 1-0 jam, putting our score at 167 for Disorder and 40 for Toronto.
Senior Wiener on the line for Toronto. For Mexico City, Disorder. It looks like, wait for it. Oh, man! Senior Wiener just takes a shot. And you see that hair fly back.
I've known Senior Wiener for a lot of years. His footwork is just so chaotic and so amazing.
Bicho is the jammer for Disorder. Senior Wiener makes it through as the lead jammer. Bicho on his heels.
Seems like Disco's consistently the only referee here. No, that's my girlfriend. They always sound like that. Like this morning. You're leaving attendance. Oh, okay, I'll put my shoes on.
Out right away is Alex Storm. As he's known to do, jam after jam. Looking to add more to the score for Disorder.
Alex Storm does a beautiful swoop, makes it up the outside of that pack. We have got D-Ray still looking for a way through. He has made it out. Alex Storm is lead jammer. Let's see what he can do.
D-Ray has a tremendous amount of talent himself, but Alex Storm doing an extremely good job regulating his energy, pouring it on the coals when he needs to, and gliding when he doesn't.
I would like to say through this game, Alex Storm's footwork has just been consistently beautiful.
We'll see how that continues as this tournament progresses. 171 to 41, Disorder in the lead. Fighting his way through, Luke Nessmonster is the lead jammer for Toronto. Luke Ness, just, wow.
Luke Ness Monster takes a licking and keeps on ticking. They are on a mission.
Luke Ness Monster hits nobody. Doing a great job here. Lots of penalties being picked up by Disorder as Alex Storm, as the jammer, goes to the penalty box. So this is going to be a power jam. And the jam is going to end there with just 2 more, so 6 total points for Toronto in this jam. And we're going to get an official review called by Toronto. 15 minutes passed in the second half.
And we will be right back with you with the conclusion of that review. Report from the inside of the track is Toronto was looking to upgrade that back block call on the jammer. They were unsuccessful.
Five seconds. And Tweet, we're going to get this back into the swing of things. Is Toronto going to strike
Malibu
first?
just
Biff out.
slides through that pack.
Nobody re-enters. Always fun to say. Biff having to recycle. So far, Disorder unable to get their jammer into scoring position. Rare moment. But they're going to sneak the star out as Alex Storm paints his head red. 4 points, though, for Biff, and that's going to end the jam. So Toronto's put together a series of jams here. Best they've done in this game so far is they've come alive. Maybe they've figured out a way to kind of break apart the defense. We'll see if they can continue to do this as the remainder of this game goes on.
And Stevie hops and skips and pushes and jumps through that pack, picking up lead jammer for Toronto. Kevinator is still looking for a way both into and out of that pack.
Stevie showing off that nice balance and quickly moves to the inside of turn 1 to pick up 4. Toronto really seems like they finally found their skates in this one. Toronto starting to come alive with a series of successful jams.
Kevinator has made it through that pack, and Stevie calls off the jam.
Another 4-0 jam.
That was a 4-point jam for Toronto, nothing for Disorder. Our score now sitting at 175 for Disorder and 55 for Toronto.
Even if they can't make up the difference here, it may give them what they need to do even better in games throughout this weekend. The glue of Toronto starting to stick. Gasolita finding their way through. Lots of smash mouth derby early on.
Gasolita knocked the back of the pack by Spencer Sleep. That is D-Ray making it out for Toronto. I hear some penalties being assessed. And that is Gasolita, number 1618, taking a seat in the penalty box. Well, it is time for her to sit down and think about what she did. That is giving D-Ray an opportunity to score unopposed. Let's see what happens. Let's get into it. He is pushing his way up the inside of that pack, looking for any possible exit. Currently getting absolutely no love from Disorder's defense. Undeterred, he is pushing, he is juking, he is jiving, he is shoving. He is going to make his way out of that pack. And there he goes.
Four points for D-Ray. Trying to make the most of this power jam that he had. It is over, but it was not squandered.
D-Ray is pulled to the back of the pack by Mitofka. Being bridged back just a little further by Hirabamala.
Another pass, gonna take 4, make it 8. Toronto with another jam unanswered.
That was an 8-point jam for Toronto. It looks like they have finally found their footing. We are gonna see a lot more good things from them this weekend. Score is now sitting at 175 for Disorder and, 179 for Disorder and 63 for Toronto.
If this were NBA Jam, we go from Toronto's heating up. He's on fire. We'll see what Disorder does to attempt to extinguish the fire and the flames.
Bicho makes his way through the pack, picks up lead jammer for Disorder. Senior Wiener looking to see what he can do about that.
Senior Wiener.
Wiener, just pure chaos. I repeat, folks, that is one chaotic Wiener shoving his way through the front of that pack, seeing what he can do, looking for any possible holes in Disorder's defense, while Bicho is undeterred and unbothered, making his way through that pack again, picking up more points for Disorder.
Senior Wiener completely trapped in that bun of blockers. Oh, but an opportunity for Senior Wiener as Bicho sits in the penalty box.
Bicho, it is time for you to sit down and think about what you did. Senior Wiener is going to have a chance to score unopposed. See if he can make up just a little more of that difference in the game. Chip away a little bit at Disorder's lead. Oh, he is getting absolutely no love from that defense. Just using amazing pack tactics and moving like a swarm. I am a skater as well, and I promise you I would be crying right now.
Bicho back and through, picking
Bicho
up
out of
4.
the box and through the pack.
Thank you for the love to us on the microphone there in the chat. We appreciate it tremendously.
One more scoring pass for Bicho. 12 points this jam so far. 14 seconds left. Let's see if he can pick up 4 more. And can he? Yes, he can. Bicho is now out of the pack. Calls off the jam. I do see 1 point for Toronto.
Dictator, giant smile on her face as she whirlwinds herself out to the ground to turn 2.
Honestly, if I scored 1 point against that defense, I would be celebrating as well.
Absolutely.
Score is currently sitting at 195, disorder 65 for Toronto. I do hear a timeout being called.
It is by Toronto, a team timeout being taken. Want to remind everybody that we appreciate all who are live watching at home. Please share the stream and let all of your Derby friends know that this is going on. It will be going on all weekend long as we broadcast live from St. Louis here at the International House of Derby. We have about 7.5 remaining in this second half. Coming up after this, it will be Concussion versus Undead. So be sure to watch that if you're watching at home.
All right, I see that timeout winding up. Looks like we are going to get back to it. I see Luke Ness Monster putting on the jammer cover for Toronto.
The announcing today is brought to you by coffee and all sources that have tremendous amounts of caffeine. Once again, Alex Storm, the top talent of Disorder, at least so far in this game, showing why he's posted the most points for Mexico City, with another 4 to the score to the team in white. Has 4, makes it 8. That's going to bring Disorder over the 200-point mark.
Oh, that was an absolutely gorgeous jump from Alex Storm.
Nice fake out
Little
move.
bit of a juke and a bend. Alex Storm, who I'm pretty sure is made of rubber, makes it through that pack one more time.
This is one Storm that can get through without leveling anybody, but gets leveled there. Only 4 more points. So 20 points so far. Do we hear 24? 20, 24. Do I hear 24? 24 points. Do I hear 28? That's going to stop it there. If there's any more points picked up by Alex Storm, I believe that will be the most points picked up so far in this game in a single jam. So 2 more, 26 total
26,
points.
so we are at 221 for Disorder and 65 for Toronto. Just about 5 minutes left in this game.
5 minutes left. Let's see if Toronto can add another 160 points here in just under 5. Oh!
Oh my
Man.
goodness!
Penalty definitely picked up there. Davido Des.
And Biff Malibu is now on his scoring run. Just slides up the inside of that pack.
Penalty party posted by Disorder in the box. Opportunity now for Toronto. Lots of shouts from the crowd. 4 points for Biff. Kevinator fighting his way out. And Kevinator adding points to the side of Disorder. As the penalty pendulum has swung against Toronto. Stream mentioning that they believe there was a 28-point jam earlier. I think that you're right.
That was an 8-8 jam. I do believe I see Toronto trying to call a timeout. Score now sitting at 229 for Disorder, 73 for Toronto. Just 2.5 minutes left in the game. Coming up next, we're going to have the Pittsburgh Undead versus the Lane County Concussion. I myself am actually a skater for Pittsburgh because I can't come to a tournament without finding a way to do the absolute most.
Woke up this morning after a trip here to St. Louis to find it had snowed overnight. And I love the snow. I just haven't seen it in a long time.
I was not ready.
I didn't bring a coat other than my suit jacket. I'm okay, though.
I brought like 3 light jackets. I should have brought my good coat. Like, I almost grabbed my winter leather, like with the zip out lining and everything. I was like, oh, surely I don't need that.
I was gonna bring my space heater, and I was like,
Gotta say the fan blowing on my spine is getting a little tough.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've got 14 years of derby injuries.
Immediately, forearm sends the jammer for Toronto to the penalty box. Not a good time for that. Not that there ever is. Gasalita is the lead jammer. Pushed to the outside by number 76, Williams for Toronto. Gasolina absorbs a hit from, I believe, D-Ray. And adds some points to their side. Whistle's blown. Let's see who goes to the penalty box for this one. That's going to be Ritter for Disorder. Jam's going to end with an additional 4 for Disorder.
Score is now sitting at 237 for Disorder, 73 for Toronto. Oh, we are down to just about 1 minute in this game.
Could this be it? If Toronto could just pick up about 160 points in this jam, they could skate away with this one.
Luke Ness Monster pushing on Disorder's defense says, out of my way, I got things to do, I got points to score.
Yeah, Disorder's like,
Disorder says, no, you actually do not. Oh, Disorder's jammer taking a seat in the penalty. No, I rescind that, I'm sorry.
Luke
Ness
Monster.
Monster has picked up lead jam. Spencer Sleep taking a seat in the penalty box for Toronto.
Little confusion there as to who actually was the lead jammer, as control has shifted. Looks like it is indeed now Bicho.
I don't know what happened there, and I'm not going to put that either.
No idea. That was weird. 4 points.
Oh, well.
And an additional 4. So 12 points so far. I think we'll get a confirmation later, but I believe what happened was Bicho got out first, was not designated as the lead jammer, but was. So lead jammer was given to Toronto, but then corrected as Bicho was making their first scoring run, their first scoring pass, which is leading us to where we are right now with Bicho at 12, now 16, as Bicho struggles to stay on his feet. But that's going to end it.
And that is the game, folks. Unofficial score sitting at 253. Disorder 76 for Toronto. That was a 16-3 jam.
So pretty big spread in the score, but an exciting battle all the same between these two teams. We'll see what they do. That's the end of the game officially. For those live on the stream, thank you. Please share this link with everyone else. And we hope to see many of you back for the next game, which will be Concussion versus the Undead. That is scheduled to start at 11 o'clock here in 35 minutes. And we're doing pretty well on time, so we may be able to hold to that schedule. We'll see.